Okay, folks, I am recording this for Fallen Haven just to get a conversation going or to get some new ideas from a game from 1997 that uses DirectX 5. This is the new direction the BetaDre channel is going to go. So, yeah, this is Fallen Haven. This is one of my favorite games. So, I already have a game loaded up. I'm on year 18 or turn 18. God, gotta love these images right here. They look, just the tank and everything. I just love these images. They had to make it count back then. They didn't have all these complicated graphics accelerators. By the way, this tank in the unit is already just fantastic. So, as you can see, this is on hard mode. That's turn 18, that's my income, that's my reserve that I have. Basically, when I played this game when I was younger, I did a strange thing. First of all, I had it on easier medium mode, and I would start moving around, going up and taking all these areas right here, and going right here, and just trying to blockade everything, until a friend of mine told me, after I stopped playing the game, of course, that that's not how you do it. That's not how you ideally want to do it. And I didn't think about it too much. But as time went on, and I played StarCraft 2, my strategies got better. I started realizing, maybe I can use like an Excel sheet and figure some things out. So I'm going to go over into detail this game on some other things, but first I want to talk about this. So here's one of the game mechanics. So the bad guys are right here, okay, and this is your home base, and you need to protect your home base because it is the only place you can build dropships, and the only way you can attack any province, even the ones that are connected to you when you're bordering the enemy, is by dropship. So, you really have to protect this place. It's perfect. So, as you attack, there's two types of attacks the enemy does. One is just random dropship attack where they send two dropships full of units, which is kind of annoying. And the other is when you're at the border and they send units, I find, they send even heavier units. So the more areas you take, the more that are vulnerable, which means the more you have to pump up your defenses. It's really annoying because there's a very real, money going in versus, not necessarily money, but the energy costs going in versus the energy costs going out. So what do you do? Early on, even years ago when I played the game, I'd figured something out. Let's go into my home base, shall we? So this is the dropship. I love this thing. This is the only place you can build a dropship from, and you're not allowed to build this building when you set things up. So let's move down. And I have 3 dropships right now ready to go. Not entirely loaded with units. But yeah, we're almost to artillery. It's fantastic. So what you have to do in essence is they can drop in anywhere, and the dropship needs a certain amount of space. They can't just drop in anywhere. So as the game has gone on, you see roads, they cost a total of 5 credits. They cost 5 credits total. And you could just, go on and build them like that. I turned the sound off because it's kind of loud. And then these structures, the walls, they cost 10. And a single wall put up here, and when you put 2 walls next to each other, they look like that. So you can interconnect them. Now, they can land on the road, but they can't land on the wall. They need to have, I believe it's either a 3x4 space or a 4x4 space. Either way, I didn't take any chances. So I build out roads because only next to roads can you build a wall placement. And one thing I found out early on is they love to just drop here or drop here. Now you're probably asking yourself, why haven't I walled this off? I'll get to that in a second. But you see, these tower defense things, these things cost energy, serious upkeep right here. They cost energy and they cost money, and you gotta keep rebuilding them time after time. And then you still have, here's the full map view. You see, they either land right here or they can land like right here, and then now they're being forced to land right here. As you can see, these little wall things, I've spread out the road for 5 per, and then I've strategically laid out a single piece of wall so they cannot land here. You know, I'm flushing them basically in here. This is very important for one reason. I mean, look at this. They can't land here and play the long game. And you can only build so many turrets. There's a cap in the game. I think you can only build 8 turrets max. And you can't have 4 here, 4 here, because not even as the game progresses, they start sending nasty units. I'm talking just some nasty units to make some things happen, you know, and you just can't. And then you can't flood your base with so many units, because look at this. This land speeder is a basic speeder. It costs 10 credits, or, you know, energy credits a turn. This artillery costs 30. You need at least 2 artilleries per base, even when you're doing the tactic that I'm using. You know, look at this. Tanks cost 200, and LAVs are 100. These things are good early on, but they're not that good. And these aren't all the units that I have just yet. There's still some more. You can't have this many units in a base, on every base, on reserve, ready to go, and then keep replenishing them over and over and over again. You just can't do that. If you put it on a spreadsheet, it doesn't work. Whereas this strategy of putting, I'll present the spreadsheet on a later video. Whereas this strategy, what you have, is the roads cost 5, so not that much, and then the walls cost 10, and you have to strategically place them out. This ends up costing around 2,000 energy credits. Now, imagine 2,000 energy credits per base to either prevent them from ever landing, which I'll show you next, or the map has, you can't build roads past these things, you see? Let me just show you real quick. See? You can't build anything past here. You can't build anything. You can't even build buildings. Oops. You can't even build. Yeah. You can't place anything, so it's pretty much over. You're literally stuck to here. I have to remember what I did. I don't want to handicap myself here. Okay. Yeah, so you're preventing them from loading here, and instead you put them in essentially a kill box. It's not a very good kill box because I put 4 turrets here, I put 3 turrets here, and I have all my units, my artillery set up to do just a forward attack in this area to get just complete, just to get them like that. That's what you got to do, unfortunately, and it works. They land their 2 things here, they cause minimal damage. I have minimal units every turn. That way I can concentrate on upgrading the next bases, because you have to build mining facilities. These are mining facilities, these are power plants. These provide the energy for the turrets, the buildings to run, and each individual building does something different. These are laboratories or power hogs. So, you know, I'd much rather save my energy. I'll get to how to research later. So that's great for your main base. So I'm covered. This is the kill box right here. When you start taking over areas like this, you see, you can see the same thing here. I have this cornered off. They can't land here. They can only land here. And the real nice thing about this one is, this was a special mission map. I can line up my turrets. 1, 2, 3, I have 8 here. Oh wait, actually, no, there is no limit, but they cost so much energy that you can only build 10 power plants. And on top of the 10 mining facilities and the research labs you need to build, you know, you can't just have a dead colony. You gotta be making research or credits out of it somehow. So I placed them here. That way, this is the only 2 places they can land, and I use LAVs to prevent them from landing right here. So even better, they're in front of the turrets. They just get annihilated, and I have artillery here just as support. That's much better. Now, in a map like this, where there are no things like that, you can see I have completely blocked them out. This is great. I just get credits and research from this place. I have minimal turrets because they can't land. They're not able to land. And I have absolutely, correct, I have absolutely no units here. Why? Because they can't land here. So this becomes an excellent mining and research facility that goes unharmed, which allows me to put more turrets in other places. Here's another place. It cost me about 2,500 energy to completely blockade this place. They can't land here. They just can't do it. So now I can just have very little units here. And the only reason I do have any units here is because I have to send a dropship in to come get them. Because I needed some for defense until I had enough credits to build this up. And I'm testing right now because they're able to drop nukes. If the nukes will, I forgot how the game works, if they drop nukes to take out the structures first, then land their dropships, or the other way around. So in a forward position like this, where they can actually drop the nuke, you can only drop a nuke on a colony you're touching. So I'm trying to make sure I have this at least covered to give them minimal places they can land. So I'm testing these theories out right now. I mean, you unfortunately have to do this on hard because, man, they bring the pain. You have to, one-up the computer by preventing them from landing and protecting areas that they, unfortunately, can't block off. So I'm gonna put this out there. I'll make some more videos later, and you guys let me know, what you think about that, because I would really like to master this game more and more. It's just from 1997. It's one of my childhood games, and I'll keep up on my progress as more annoying things come up.